Today we're here with our good friend Brian Ballard, who is the founder of Sportsmen Givin back. And he is in his 8th year of putting this fundraiser on. And we're in our 3rd year of being part of it with them. And we don't normally talk about what we do in the community because we don't do it for that reason. But this year I got to thinking, and I felt like I would be doing these guys a disservice if I did not tell everyone out here about it and spread the word about what Brian's doing for our community. So this year he's working on fighting childhood hunger, which I didn't realize how big of a problem that was. So talking to Brian a little bit about it, it's a huge problem. So he's putting on this event in a month to raise money, raise awareness, and try to help all the children out there that we can. So what I've come to do today is to get this in front of all of our following and just explain what Brian does. And I'm going to let Brian talk a little bit. So Brian, tell us a little bit about what started this for you and what really just made you want to spend your time helping people.
Well, I have a special needs daughter named Haley, who will be 18 years old this year. And when she was born, I was brought into a world that I really didn't know anything about, and that's kids and families with special needs.
Right.
That kind of put a desire to help others in the heart, and it festered for a long time. And I actually got involved in some other groups, and that's what kind of led me into the fundraiser aspect of this. When we decided to go out on our own and start Sportsmen Givin back, we realized there was such a need in the community that wasn't getting addressed, that these charities were struggling to make ends meet, and they were doing such amazing work that I couldn't do, or most of the average people can't do, and they just needed fundraising.
Right.
And we already loved the banquet process, doing that, having a speaker come in and do his thing, and we just decided that let's run with this, and that's what we did. We've used our platform as outdoorsmen to raise money to help really all genres of life. I mean, just many people in the community.
Yeah. So last year, we were talking about this earlier, we were sitting there and so these guys gave a whole roof away last year, and when that happened, I was bawling like a baby.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
We are very blessed to have a group of core sponsors that believe in what we do, and of course Lane Shark is leading the way this year with being our title sponsor, and we very much appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But a local roofing company came to me and said, we would auction off a roof or whatever you would like to do. And I said, I know there's a need out there. There's a need. I know somebody that has a need for a roof and just can't afford it.
Right.
And we got together. The lady actually makes the banana pudding for our dinner. I know you've eaten it. It's pretty daggone good.
Absolutely.
So we talked through some supplier issues and things, and we've got this roof donated, and we actually donated to them the night of the banquet. They had no idea. We had to talk them into staying for the event. Her husband's actually fighting cancer. She's a local teacher in the community, so they were just blown away. I mean, I'll never be able to recapture that moment.
Oh yeah.
It was just amazing. So things like that we actually donated to 9 different charities last year. We actually pulled another individual in right after the banquet. We had some extra money that we had raised. We had a child that had born with a rare heart disease that we were able to donate to their family to help them, and then give this roof away. So really we affected 11 charities last year.
That's awesome.
This year's event, we have 8 charities listed. You mentioned the childhood hunger. That's our main goal, is to support charities that are fighting childhood hunger. Our top 2 beneficiaries this year, that's all they do. You mentioned that we didn't know this was a problem. I didn't know this was a problem. My wife's a 4th grade teacher in Santa Rosa County. A few years ago, she came home to me right after they started their standardized testing, and they always encourage the kids. They pump them up to eat right and just get plenty of sleep. And she comes to me that day, and she knows she can't tell me much about this because I'm too emotional, I'm too knee-jerk. But she had a child come in that day that when they talked about breakfast and all that, he hadn't eaten all weekend. And we're talking about a 3rd grader in Santa Rosa County.
Yeah.
To me, I didn't know, and it's heartbreaking that is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us are, I don't say sheltered to that stuff, because we've never dealt with it, so we just don't know that it exists.
It's a huge problem. Last year's event, we kind of battled homelessness. Same thing with children, trying to get them into permanent residency. And I had no idea that problem existed. But this is far worse than that. I mean, we're going to directly influence this year about 3,000 kids with the money that we donate that after the banquet. That's really awesome. But at the same time, there's 3,000 kids that need to be fed, and that's insane to me. But that's the big goal this year. That's what kind of got us started.
So last year, you said you had about 750 people that showed up. This year, the goal is 1,000.
Yep, that's our goal, is 1,000.
So can we hold more than that, or is that kind of where we max out?
We're about 1,300 is where we're at as far as capacity. That'd be dream come true, to be able to fill the building to capacity.
So my main focus, or my main purpose today, obviously to let people know about you, and I'm going to ask our followers, our fans. We're going to put a link on the video above. It's going to be an Eventbrite link. It has, if you're local and you want to come, you don't have to spend anything but the $10 to get in the door. Just come see it. If you are able to donate more, you click on the link, click buy tickets, and then just below on the next page we'll have a donation tab. We would greatly appreciate your donations. All the money's going to go to helping children, and basically we just want to ask for your help. If it's possible for you to send $5, $1, anything will help these kids, and if you can't, then try to make it at least and see what it's about. You will be touched, and you'll be back next year.
I appreciate that.
We can keep talking.
Can I run down just a list of all the charities?
Absolutely. Whatever you want to put on this.
So what we've got, we're donating to 8 different charities. The 2 main charities are the 2 we mentioned that are fighting childhood hunger. We also every year try to pick out an individual or 2, usually a child battling cancer, and we don't donate money to try to cure cancer. We donate money to his family to try to help them pay light bills, or pay travel expenses to hospitals, or whatever the case may be, whatever their need is. And then we have a group of charities that we donate that are just doing amazing work in the community. And those other charities, this year we have one little boy, Jace Murphy, that's battling cancer. He's 3 years old. I can't even imagine that. I've raised an 18-year-old special needs daughter, but I cannot imagine hearing the words, my daughter has cancer. So we try to do that every year to try to get somebody like that on board. The other charities is Life Options Clinic. They're just a place where women can go that are pregnant that have needs, and they do amazing work in the community. It's one of the ones that I have been on board with for a very long time. I've supported them more than I have anybody else because I very much believe in what they do and how they do it. The Miracle League of Pensacola. Again, this is kind of selfish of me because I have a special needs daughter. They offer special needs baseball to children and adults. They service about 300 people of all ages that get to play sports that would not have the opportunity in regular rec league or in school or something like that. So it's pretty cool. Operation Outdoor Freedom is a local group that provides hunts locally for wounded warriors. Them guys are doing crazy good stuff. I mean, they're taking people on hunts that, just to get them back into life, to get them away from their problems of losing a limb or mental or whatever their problems may be. But those guys are doing pretty cool stuff. And then the Ronald McDonald House, another one that's very near and dear to my heart. Having a special needs child, I got to stay one time at a Ronald McDonald House. I was blown away by what they do. I really had no idea. They're probably the biggest charity, but we donate all of our money locally and it stays locally. So that's real important to us. And then Bridges Out of Poverty out of Santa Rosa County. That's a local group in Santa Rosa County that, again, fights poverty, fights homelessness, and in turn it keeps kids from being couch hoppers or living in a motel or living from house to house to house every week. It gives them something permanent to live in, and they're doing amazing work. So that's the group of charities we're going to give to this year. All very well deserving. And again, we look, when we finally, all the numbers are crunched, the amount of people that our money that we donate this year is probably going to be in the 5,000 to 6,000 people range.
5,000 to 6,000 people.
will be
That's
directly benefited by what we donate this year.
That's awesome. So, if you've made it all the way through this video, which I hope everyone has, I believe that you'll benefit by coming to the event. If you're local and you can make it, it's October 5th.
October 5th.
All right, and it's going to be, tell them where it is again.
It's at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Pace. It's a very easy location to find. It's right on Highway 90. You can just Google Emmanuel Baptist Church and it'll pop right up. It's a very easy building. It's a very comfortable building. We can seat a lot of people. We have plenty of room for our silent auctions and that kind of thing. Something I do want to stress is that we don't fundraise much that night. The event is a good time. We bring in a Christian outdoor speaker and he talks about whatever he wants to talk about. I kind of give him free reign. The guy this year is coming from Louisiana, brings Labrador retrievers, and he does a presentation with those Labradors. It's really cool to get out there and interact with the kids. I think you'll really enjoy it.
That's awesome. So you heard it. His goal is 1,000 people this year. Please, let's get closer to the 1,300 max. If you're local and you can make it, please come. I promise you will not regret it. And this man will make sure that you have a good time. And I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
and
you,
I look forward to
it.
the event, and I'm hoping that we can break some records.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes, sir.